Blackburn Rovers kick off 2021 in fantastic style. In fact, it could not be better as Adam Armstrong got back to what he does best. And of course, it was the return of not only Lewis Travis, but of course, Bradley Dack. Right, folks, back once again with another match review. This time looking back at Blackburn Rovers 2-0 win up against Birmingham City, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're doing, and of course smash your subscribe and get your back today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, world football related in the bloody house. That's right, boys and girls, we are back, of course, from our on the road travels, back in time to kick off the brand new year with, of course, Blackburn Rovers, and of course, ultimately coming out on top with the big fat 3 points. And we'll talk more about that in just 1 second. Of course, my big shout out to the patrons working behind the bloody scenes. We did get over the line at 25 patrons, but of course, because of the old time difference and lag and everything, we might have dipped back down a little bit to 22, but it's okay. It's okay. We did complete that goal. So a big shout out to you guys, including the D-Man and, of course, Blue Orbit, the recent members of the Patreon gang. So, yes, Rovers kicking on where we left off. We didn't really kick on where we left off. I'm a bit of one of these. Look at me. I'm a bit of one of these. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Anyway, enough about that. Maybe I should just move that over a little bit. I've got another one. That doesn't really matter. But anyway, we kicked off where we should have been kicking on with a win, of course, as last season we did our last calendar year, 2020. We did end it in the not the best bit of form, but ultimately coming out on top with a 2-0 win. And yet, a performance that was, again, pretty much below par, not really what we were expecting. But at the end of the day, we got what we wanted, which was the massive 3 points up against a team that is struggling, and potentially we could have put the final nail in, of course, Akio Karanka's managerial run as Birmingham City manager. We don't know yet. I don't know. It might be breaking news. I don't know. But of course, he was a bit of struggling a little bit prior to this. Of course, there was a lot of fans wanting him to be on his way out, but this could be the result that does it. Kick it on a new, and again, it's perfect time. It's a perfect time for any team to make a change managerial wise, because next up is the FA Cup. It's kind of got a bit of a breathing opportunity for teams to get players back, make some changes. Of course, transfer window is open. Of course, it was prime time for that. But anyway, we came on top with a 2-0 win. Adam Armstrong opened up the scoring on the 10th minute, and a good goal. In fact, it was a little bit edgy at first. Opportunities came for both Rovers and Birmingham City, but ultimately, Adam Armstrong got a goal side of the keeper, not on his favoured left foot, but of course with his right, put it in the bottom corner, and Etheridge could not do anything but pick that ball out. So Rovers took the lead on that one, and ultimately it was kind of just a bit of a hanging on job, really. We didn't really create too much chances, as you see there, just 11 shots today, 6 on target for us, not really towards the higher numbers that we're usually familiar with. 7 for Birmingham and just 1 on target for Birmingham. But it wasn't until late on, of course, with the final bit of play for Rovers deep into stoppage time, and it was that man, of course, making his third cameo appearance from the bench, Bradley Dack, of course, his first goal in over a year, and it's a welcome relief for Rovers fans as we can gear up, maybe just get excited a little bit for the return of Dack, and maybe he can, of course, start games in the near future, of course. So 2-0 in the end. Good goal. If you haven't seen them, they're going to probably be on Quest very soon. They're also going to be on the Rovers YouTube channel as well. But ultimately, 2-0 in the bag. But a performance, the scoreline does flatter us a little bit. Because it wasn't really one of our best. We actually didn't have as much possession as I thought. 55% for Birmingham, 45% for Rovers. And as you can see about the shots, we had a couple of corners, I think 3 corners, but ultimately failed to deceive with those. They had 7 Birmingham City. They also had a couple of free kick opportunities, which they could have ran us close, but unfortunately they were a little bit wasteful with their set pieces today. Fortunately for Rovers, because that is an area that we may lack in, of course. Kicking on further, let's take a look at how they laid out here with a 4-2-3-1. That is Birmingham. We'll take a close look at the start lineups in a minute with some familiar names. Lucas Shakowitz up top. Who else is a pain in the butt? Of course, Leko was as well. Good goalkeeper as well with Etheridge, usually. One that I would have had easily at Rovers. I don't know what's going on here with the Who scored, giving Douglas an 8.2. I don't know why he deserves that. To be, you'll see my match ratings in a minute. I don't know what game they were watching. They weren't watching mine. I gave Gallagher an 8. Again, not very. Maybe he had a lot of touches. I don't know. We'll take a look at the heat maps as well in just a second. But as you see, aerial duels won by Rovers, 29 of those for us, which is good. Usually Birmingham, I think, are think they're much better with us than we are with aerial duels. Pass success rate 69% for Birmingham, 65% for Rovers. We were very wasteful with our possession, which ultimately frustrated me more because, we won 2-0 in the end, which is nice to see, get the 3 points in the bag and maybe kickstart the new year in a bit more positive style. But ultimately, we were very, very, very wasteful and not really creating too many chances. Too many times prior to this game and including this game, we have a lot of the ball, but we don't do anything with it. And it's just frustrating because we should be winning games more comfortably than we are. And again, it wasn't until the death that we won this game quite comfortably. So the lineup for Birmingham was like this: Etheridge between 6, Friend at left back, no Pedersen. I think he may be suspended, I don't know. Clark, Salter, Jose as defenders there, I believe. Darkus Cogley was at right back ahead of Colin, which I think is a questionable one as well. Sunjic and Kiftabal in midfield. Of course, he must have been the long-haired Mysterio in midfield there. McCree alongside Lecco, Sanchez moving further forward, and Lucas Chikowicz up top, of course, former Burnley man there, former pain in the arse indeed, but we had the better of him this time around. As for Rovers, we started with a 4-3-3 as we did. Chemistry between 6, no questions asked there. Bell, Johnson, Lennon and Douglas made up your back four, and it is a bit of a case of a sort of similar Lambert era, really, playing square pegs round holes, with Douglas coming in at right back. He is traditionally a left back, of course, and of course Bradley Johnson in centre midfielder usually, playing in the heart of defence. And I thought he did okay, and we'll take a look at my match ratings in just a second. Elliot, of course, in a more defensive sort of midfield sort of role today. Davenport and Travis, which was a nice, refreshing change, even though Davenport kind of failed in his first 45 minutes. I wasn't very impressed with him, to be honest with you. But I think this could be the heartbeat of Rovers midfield. If we could keep these guys fit and healthy, and maybe give Davenport more minutes, we'd be seeing the future of Rovers core midfield. And again, they're a good age, and again, if they can show, if Davenport can be, maybe 2/3 a player of Travis's ilk, then we have something special on our hands. He's already got a goal to his name this season, and again, we see more of him this season than we have previously. So yeah, Gallagher up top, shite. Adam Armstrong, of course, got the goal, and Big Babel Brereton, of course, continuing his rehab process, of course, coming back from injury not too long ago. I think he had 60 minutes or so. As for my match ratings, let's kick it off further and take a look at the ratings there. Kaminski, I give him a 7. I thought he had made some really good strong saves towards the back end of this game as Birmingham were pressing, and again, without him, we would not have the clean sheet. If it was Piers, if it was Christian Walton, maybe even if it was David Ryan, we might not have walked away with a clean sheet on this one. Amari Bell, not impressed with him. Too for school for me, and again, it's an area of weakness. It's definitely an area of weakness. Do I want to see a new left back? No, I think both Bell and Douglas are capable of doing an okay job for us. Would I put my faith in them moving forward? No, but for the time being, I'm going to keep them as they are. Bell has a good game every 1 in every 6, I would say. Douglas, I'm yet to see. He's okay. But he's supposed to be a dead ball specialist. I've not seen that yet, really haven't. Johnston with a 7 at centre back. I thought he did okay. He got his body involved. He was very committed with his tackling. He showed us bodies on the line, the sort of mentality that we need from the rest of the 11. You know what I mean? He's there for the cause. He's showing fight desire, and that's what I like to see about that. So unfortunately, he could have got the man of the match. Lenihan could actually take a little note out of Bradley Johnson's performance there. I thought he outdid you at the back there. Of course, Lenihan, of course, composed as centre back, but not really as committed and involved as Bradley Johnson was. Maybe Johnson's going to sort out the trouble. Douglas at right back at 5. He was okay. I don't know what the heck who scored. We're going with an 8.2. Kicking off forward, then Elliot with a 6. He was involved in some stuff and maybe a little bit harsh on him, but I didn't really see too much of him going forward. Davenport with a 7. I'm going to give him a little bit of a Brucey bonus there with an extra bit of spunk there. But Travis for me gets the man of the match. I thought he was fantastic. Broke up the play, showed what we've been missing in midfield, and it's glad to have him back. Gallagher was atrocious. I don't know what. Okay, maybe I'm a bit harsh on him. And I said on the watch long, he's got the physique and everything. He's got the shape. He's got everything that needs to be a good footballer. He's lanky, he's strong, he's got all the tools in the locker. He just needs a pilot to be in the brain to kind of control him, to finish off the stuff, to get him to be a better player. But his touch is rough. His decision making at the end has been poor. Again, but on the flip side, I am being a bit harsh with the 4. But he does get back and defend, and that's probably what you see. You need to see more of that. But yeah, a bit harsh with the 4 maybe. Of course, Armstrong gets a 7 with the goal. Brereton got 5, and to be honest with you, I didn't really see too much of him. I was very frustrated because I've turned a leaf with Brereton. I think he's phenomenal and a good asset to the club. Of course, the real turning point though was, of course, the introduction of the subs. Tyrese Dolan came on. It was a handful, of course, for Birmingham in the final 10 minutes. But Bradley Dack, of course, coming on and scoring the goal, giving them 3 points for Rovers in the end. Here's the heat maps of a heat map man just like me. As you can see, Birmingham had a lot of the ball, and they actually spread the ball around nicely. Lecco was a problem for us all day long. Sunjic as well was getting around about as well. So we, some good players there, but unfortunately, I think it's going to be too late for Karanka. I think he's going to be out on his ears. They're going to make the change quick. Otherwise, it could be a story too late, because the teams below them are picking up points. Forest picked up a win today. Sheffield Wednesday also picked a win yesterday. I don't know what else is going on otherwise, but they'll need to start getting the results in. As for Rovers, again, a lot of the ball, but not really as much as I thought. We have a lot of the ball in the back there with the likes of Bell, Douglas, and Johnson and Lennon getting the ball, but ultimately not good enough. More some stats and figures there for you. Of course, we had 570 touches compared to the 630. They're more passes, 4-3-1 to our 3-6-2. It was the counter-attacking that got Rovers in front on this game with Adam Armstrong. Great bit of breakaway play. And again, with limited or much less possession than we had than usual. We did actually manage to still fire off more shots than Birmingham, so that's good. That's a positive. We've got to take that with it. Corners-wise, do we have a look at the corners here? I don't think saves-wise, Birmingham actually made 4 saves compared to our 1. Did they hit the woodwork? There was no woodwork hit. And as you can see, interceptions by 15 to 14 in their favour. Area duels won by Rovers, which is an area that usually we're up there, but Birmingham have seemed to have a better ranking amongst us when compared to the championship as a whole. But ultimately, if we were going to get excited, it's time to get excited, of course, with the return of Bradley Dack, of course, coming back with a goal. It was a good, well taken goal, of course. Tyrese Dolan causing all kinds of problems, laying off. Basically, I think he got a little bit lucky with his attempt. I think he was going to pull the trigger himself, but the Birmingham City man got involved. Ball ended up back at Dack's feet, and he pulled the trigger, fired the rocket, and it went into the bottom right hand corner. And of course, 3 points. He was happy, Comiskey was happy, Tony Mowbray was happy, of course. Big kisser on his forehead to celebrate the win indeed. So yeah, well, what about Tony Mowbray? Well, here he is shortly after the match with his thoughts of the goal and of course the 3 points.
Well, listen, I think the points are obviously crucial. We play in a game and in a league where you have to try and get 3 points on any given match day, and it's very, very difficult in this league because every team's different. The games are every 3 days. I think that's our 12th game in 40 days. I think it's it's tough physically for the players, and especially the way we've been asking them to play from early season. It's been physically really tough for this team, and on top of the injuries and the COVID issues we've got, it's really difficult. That what I would call genuine first team football is unavailable to this team to play, and it's been a real difficult period for us. But happy with the points, not very happy with the performance. If you put into context some of the brilliant performances we've had, in my opinion, and we haven't won. Having 20 odd shots at goal and still not winning, and then you play a game like we did today, which was scrappy and horrible, and but we'll take the points, put them in the bag, and we will learn from it, I'm sure. Listen, the whole team deserves immense credit for, Barry Douglas playing at right back and Bradley Johnson playing at left centre half. They deserve a massive credit, really, I would suggest, for seeing off a clean, getting a clean sheet and working as hard as they did. The players in front of them worked extremely hard, and it's real difficult emotion I've got, really, because it was nowhere near the performance level we need to have if we're going to ever get near the top 6, and yet it's 3 points, and that's great. We'll put them in the bag and we'll move on. Yeah, I think so. I've been on this journey with him for a year as such. I haven't been there every day when he's been sweating and working in a gym on his own when the team's off, and what I do know, I was a footballer for 18 years, and when you're injured, football, it's not very enjoyable. It's not a nice life on your own, trying to get back, and Bradley deserves a lot of credit for the sweat and tears he's been through, really, and to score the goal, amazing for him, but we know he's got that technique. I think he's finding it really difficult to get up to speed of the game. Without that goal, you would have said he was pretty ineffective for the however long he was on, the half an hour he was on. Finding it hard to get up to the speed of the game. This team is a team now that's playing with miles more energy and drive and front foot performance levels, and Bradley has to get up to speed. It's going to take him a lot of time, and I've just said there, I'm going to give the players some time off, the ones who played the 12 games in 40 days, and yet Bradley won't get any time off. He needs to get fit and match fit. Young Travis needs to get fit and match fit, and Yeah, and so that's the balance really, because you like to be consistent with your group and don't have some in while others are resting. But I think it's important that these key players for us get up to speed as quick as they can, so they need to work. They'll probably be given a run out next week in the cup game. Try and get as much minutes off them as we can and see how we go.
Even when he's not 100%, that's the quality that he has, though, to score a goal like that.
And I've said to you many times after games, we've missed Dack. Bradley scores a goal out of nothing because he's got technique that is way above most of our players, and that's not a slight on our players, but Dack has just got amazing technique, and you see it in training. It's either foot, he can chop the ball back, sit people on their backsides, roll it in the corner, he can bend it in the top corner, he can just play high quality finishes, passes, disguised passes. He has just got high quality. He needs to get up to speed of the team and start impacting to help us in the second half of the season. Well, I'd already told him this week. Trav phones me up at the weekend on when I'm home with my family and tells me, Gaffer, I'm ready to play. I'm ready. And I've my medical department and my sports science department are telling me no, he can't play. And then I come into work and he knocks on my door and he wants to tell me he's ready to play. And after the last performance, what I said to them, I felt we had a soft underbelly in the team from being pretty a good game against Huddersfield, a proper football match against two good teams, but a soft underbelly in my opinion. We lost a game that we should never lose, and my decision was made about Travis after that game really, even though he's been telling me he's ready. I watched him do a running session the other day where one player in our team left Travis behind, and nobody ever leaves Travis behind in running sessions, and so it was telling me he's not physically ready, and yet I felt as if the passion he brings to football matches is what our team needs, and I was trying to get as much out of him as I could today without putting him in danger, without getting him injured further, because that would be the worst case scenario, but delighted he got an hour or so and helped our team keep a clean sheet and did what he does. Won tackles, won 50-50s, never came off second best in anything, and that's important that we've probably missed for a long time. I thought Davenport was our best player today. I've just told him that in the dressing room. That's not just to pick up a young boy and give him a bit of sugar. I thought he was our best player. He was crisp, he was sharp, he was snapping into tackles. He played like a proper midfield player today. Jacob has to reproduce that all the time and make life difficult for other midfield players. I think he's lost a little bit of timber. He's a slight boy anyway, but his diet and everything has been affected, and he looks lean and fit and fast and mobile. He's always been crisp with the ball. I thought he was really good today for us, and he will be given other opportunities to show that that's his level. It's a long way to go. I don't know, is that halfway through the season? I think we're below where we should be on points wise, and I think there's been lots of games where we've been very, very good. That was a difficult team talk after the game, because that's not the level we want to play at today. We have to be much better than that, and we have, and yet we've lost games, and so it's a difficult chat really, because we have to play at the level we've been playing at where we've lost games, but we have to learn how to win. And I do think sometimes it's the human qualities, the passion, the emotion, the we will not get beat sort of feeling that the team needs really, and certain individuals bring that more than others.
Meanwhile, what's been going on Twitter then? Just to get a look, shall we? Of course, Matt Sinato said this: that feels like a crucial win for Rovers. Over the move for Dacky, great to see Trav back out there. Thought Jacob Davenport was our man of the match, and all with a makeshift defence. Well done, lads. Meanwhile, David Crossley said this: that the good opening 30 minutes was very good. Both goals very well taken. Dolan cameo, 3 points. The bad, absolutely everything else. Goodness gracious me, performance have to improve a massive amount. We simply can't afford to keep playing like that. Gallagher needs removing ASAP. Meanwhile, Bradley Dack, be like this. This is Jimmy. He put a gif there as, of course, Arnie walks through the door there and he says, I'm back on the old gif. Talk of Ewa said this: Trav back, Dack back, winning ways back indeed, of course. Meanwhile, New York Rovers said this: good win, but largely an underwhelming performance. I agree. The issue under Mowbray for me is consistency. I'm still on the opinion that he's not the right man for us to progress, but obviously I hope I am wrong. I certainly don't have the hate for him that I had for Well, Coyle and Keane agreed even. Chris Martin said this, I'm so pleased for Bradley Dack. Over a year out with a serious injury, and he's fought through the pain and rehabilitation, not only to return to the team, but to get back to scoring goals in the Championship. The Sweet Prince, Dack is back. Kicking off forward, what do we have here? We have the one and only Deuce, of course, big fan of the channel, big friend of ours, big friend of his, of course. Oh yeah, and Gavin Ward can do one. Unbelievably consistent at being utterly incompetent and complete asshole of a ref. Wow, wow, wee wow. Kicking off forward, get in, miles better today. Dack can have my babies. That's Jordan Kingsley, of course. What's on the old GIF here? Big old thumbs up from Big Bad Boy Ben. Of course, Lewis Hartley said this, big 3 points, a win were expected though, even given a bad run. Mowbray made good subs today, which I have to admit for a change. Dolan created the second goal, but Dack will get the credit, but where it was with a great finish. Hopefully it kickstarts us to a good run this year. Huge win. Kicking off forward, Adam Totsuki, he said this, we'll take that win as a win at the moment. Should have been out of sight early doors and could have been punished later on. Nonetheless, we needed that, and that has to be the start of a consistent run. Let's build on it and get back on Dack. Back on track, he says. Carl Wicks says this, let's not get carried away because Birmingham are dog turd. However, Dolan starts for me next game. Looked quality when he came on. Great to see Great to see Dack on the score sheet. Johnson was class at centre back. Bell had a much better game. Good to be back to winning ways. Forgot what it felt like. I agree. TJ Cunningham said this. I admit it went wrong. I said Davenport shouldn't have started, though he was quality in the first 45. Didn't really get to go in second half, but did what he has to get his name on. He wanted to basically get into consideration for starting. Sounded like a bit of a messy game. This is Brownie, but got the 3 points and the clean sheet. Maybe he should have had a couple more goals, but still a great start to 2021. Adam Lodge said this, the life of Dacky, great to get the win, but my word, after 30 minutes we were poor again. Still, a win is a win. Julie said this, superb win lads, best squad we've had in years. Circuit Trouble said clean sheet. Also, may we now move up the league and showcase how good this team really is. Elliot Bell, of course, captain, but not involved at the moment. Great win for the boys, professional away job and clean sheet. Some great performance, so happy for JD on his first start. Great to see Trav back, Adam Armstrong and Bradley Dack is back, boy. Great Saturday, he says. Jill Jack, some great class by Dack, terrific by Dolan with his frightening pace. Of course, Jacob Crook, who is a Birmingham fan, let's give him a bit of love. Rovers, one Rovers said this, buzzing with the 3 points, but it's a good job that Birmingham are shit. There's a look at the goal, but I'm not going to show you that just in case I get into trouble. And that's pretty much it. Of course, if you are new to the Twitter, make sure you follow me on that. Of course, you can catch up with me on the fly. Let's kick it on further though and take a look at what else has gone on out in the Championship. Of course, yesterday Sheffield Wednesday did beat Derby 1-0 to give whoever was managing Sheffield Wednesday 3 points. Preston did lose to Nottingham Forest. That's a shame for them. Wycombe got spanked by Middlesbrough at home. Millwall lost to Coventry despite a fight back, but a red card, of course. Huddersfield lost to Reading as they continue to maintain a playoff spot. Swansea came back, a 2-1 win over new guys Watford, who shows he's just not got what it takes. Norwich City, of course, beating Barnsley. Later on today, Stoke against Bournemouth. I'm probably going to upload this prior to this game, so whatever, it doesn't matter. Norwich, of course, lead the charge 4 points clear of Swansea right now. They could be on their way. Swansea play one game more than Brentford, potentially to go up into the top 2. Watford down to 6 now. Of course, Rovers 5 points adrift, but we have played a game more. It's okay. I would take that all day long right now. Let's just keep believing that we have it in the tank. Of course, Dack is back. Trav is back. Brereton's back. Just need to get a couple of centre-backs and we could be back into it. Wycombe, Rotherham, Derby going down. That includes Sheffield Wednesday and the points deduction. Birmingham, they could be in a bit of trouble there. 4 points off the drop zone. It could all get nice and fruity down there. I would say, I think Millwall are safe right now. Coventry is safe, but I think Birmingham below are in the relegation scrap right now. Nottingham Forest, of course, got a win. Unbeaten in 5. QPR looking in trouble as well. Sheffield Wednesday, of course, unbeaten in 4 games now, picking up 3 wins to boot, so they're on the climb. Derby, not out of the woods yet, as are Rotherham and Wycombe. I think those two look like nailed on, but it could be a big club going down. It could be a big club. Anyone from Birmingham, Forest, QPR, Sheffield Wednesday and Derby, I consider them all big clubs. I think one of them are in trouble. Coventry have got the bit between teeth. Barnsley, look at Barnsley, flying high. Let's take a look at what else is going on next week. Of course, midweek we have Bournemouth against Millwall, and then there's a bit of a break though. Of course, Championship will take a back seat to the FA Cup. Middlesbrough take on Birmingham next time around. That'll be on Saturday, the early kick-off on the 16th of Jan. Watford taking on Huddersfield, of course. Forest up against Millwall. Coventry up against Sheffield Wednesday. Derby up against Rotherham. Reading against Brentford. Bristol City up against Preston. Cardiff up against Norwich. They need a result. Bournemouth up against Luton. QPR against Wycombe. They both need results. And Barnsley up against Swansea. Barnsley, if they win that, they could be in the old playoff contention themselves. But of course, the game of the week will be Rovers up against Stoke. We will have a watch along, and that's on Saturday. I'll be back at work. I'm not looking forward to it. And I think that's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. And if you're new, bang your subscribe button. Get your bang out today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related. Whoa, football related. We're going to go here. under while Ruski, of course, yes, we'll continue with the videos throughout the next week. It's going to be a bit of a slow week for me. I'm going to be planning to do some other videos, but just kind of taking a chance to regroup, refresh, and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully Rovers do the same. Doncaster next in the FA Cup. If it goes ahead, it might get postponed. We'll have to wait and see. But until then, though, hopefully you enjoy the video. Again, be sure to check out the links down below. They're all here in their own sort of links, including Patreon over there. If you want to become the latest member of the Patreon gang, check out that link. We did get to 25. We may have lost a couple, but we're still doing a bit of regards in that. But anyway, until then, though, happy New Year. Of course, Rovers with a 3-point. Dack is back, and of course, so are Rovers.